I posted a picture of me praying at Shiloh, and I just literally had a couple hundred followers unfollow, which was like, that was insane. Number one. Then number two, my DMs are filled. Effing traitor, you loving, I mean, like the craziest stuff. I mean, you should be dead. You should go into Gaza so they can blow you up there. And all I did was post an Instagram story of me praying at Shiloh.
Okay, guys, we got Jordan from America First Healthcare here today. We've talked for a while now. We got a lot of mutuals. Nice to finally meet you, man.
Dude, great meeting you, man.
Yeah.
It's awesome to be here in Vegas in this. I left Florida from 95-degree weather to come to even a hotter.
Oh, man. The summers out here are brutal.
It's brutal, man.
And Florida's like the humid weather, too. Wet heat.
Yeah, it is. It is the wet heat.
So now you get both types of heat, the dry heat.
It was.
You out here recruiting agents this week, or what are you doing out here?
I'm meeting with Alex Hormozi.
Nice.
And their entire team at Acquisition.
I just met him 2 days ago.
How was that?
Amazing. Yeah, my friend owns a suit company. We dropped off a custom acquisition.com suit to him.
Really?
And because of the podcast, he recognized me. So I was holy shit. Yeah, as soon as I walked in, he said, what's up?
Yeah, I mean, he just broke like a huge record selling like 3 million plus books.
I already finished the book.
And is it really good?
It's on Audible.
I haven't heard it yet.
Fire. And I summarized it on ChatGPT and learned a ton. So
yeah, that's the
that dude's, I mean, 100 million offers changed my life.
Really?
That was the first book I read from him. I think it was his first book ever. And then 100 million leads was pretty good, but this one's really good too.
Wow. Yeah. Alex, the 100 million leads was an incredible book for me. That helped really launch my company.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. But then the book that's like honestly changed my life in the last, I would say 6 months is Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell.
Ooh, that's a good one too.
Oh my god. Have you read it?
Yeah. Dan's been on the show. Shout out to Dan.
Yeah.
He's a solid entrepreneur.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm actually meeting him next month, going up to Canada to meet him.
Oh, yeah. I heard he's doing serious dough these days, 20 million plus a year.
Yeah. No, he's killing it. And I mean, I've learned so much on like how to buy back your time because like, and well, I'm sure we'll talk about this in a little bit. When you're growing your company or growing in your industry, whatever you end up doing, like you have to start figuring out ways to, literally buy back your time.
Yeah, with hiring, with processes.
Yeah, with hiring, and you would think like it's so people know how to use an assistant, and they really don't.
Mm-hmm.
Like because when you bring on an assistant, again, I always ask myself what I'm doing right now, whether it's responding to an email or whether it's going to meet the cleaning lady at my house. Am I doing how much am I worth an hour? Am I worth $20 an hour? Or am I worth $250 an hour? And if I believe I'm worth $250 an hour with how much I make, then I need to realize why am I allowing myself to do things that are a $15 to $20 an hour job when I could be focusing on growing the company, which allows me to create more employees and more jobs and as well more revenue for the company. So it's one of the biggest, like, you don't own your email, you don't own your calendar. Your assistant owns that. And there's so many incredible teachings in that book that has just changed my life, changed my company, and changed others around us.
Yeah, assistant's a tough hire, man. I'm on my 8th one, and I'll take accountability for a lot of the previous ones. It was my fault. It's really hard to hire an assistant, actually.
It is. I mean, because you have to find someone that like you have to. I mean, what I've learned when it comes to hiring an assistant is you got to show them the long end game.
Right.
And I actually just hired an executive assistant, a second one, literally this past week, and I'm like, listen, I want you to think of you are the CEO of these 4 things. And I gave her calendar, I gave her email, I gave her some financial type of stuff, and then as well some booking type of stuff for our podcast. And I'm like, I want you to think like you're a CEO and you're creating all the systems and process because 6 months to a year, 2 years from now, you might not be doing these things because I'm going to have you be creating in somewhere else. Your job is to be a problem solver in this department. And when you give them that vision for the long term, it's like, I'm working towards something. And also, I'm not going to be answering emails for the rest of my life. And it's really hard to keep people that way when it's like, is this what I want to do forever?
That was my issue, I think.
And if you can kind of give them that token at the end of like, hey, when you do these things, there is growth and there's opportunity here. And we have massive vision and we want to be $1 billion company. And if we are that 5-10 years from now, where do you think you are when right now we have only 15 W-2 employees? So it's just been trying to keep the end in mind, which I always talk about obviously with my staff.
Your growth is pretty big right now though, right? 25,000 clients in 2 years.
Yeah, 25,000 clients in 2 years. We just had our 2-year anniversary about four months ago. We just moved into a 12,000 square foot building, which is literally
in LA?
insane. No, in Orlando.
Okay.
And we have a little over 100 agents now nationwide.
Jeez.
And so it's just, I always tell the number one mistake that CEOs make when it comes to when they start making profits, they start pulling profits, and they take away the gasoline from the engine.
Right.
But it really comes down to like what your goal is. Because if you're 2 years into business and right now we're bringing in $2 or $3 million in revenue, like you have a decision. There's a fork in the road. Do I want to get to 10 to 15 million a year in revenue, or do I want to stay where I'm at, pull profits, get the Lambo, get the big houses, and really just kind of like pull those profits? And it really just comes down to like, what is your end goal, which is like the diamond that I got from 7 Habits of a Highly Effective Leader, which is like, you have to think of the end in mind. Imagine if you were wanting to build a home and you were a contractor, and it's like you break ground, but you don't know what the home's supposed to look like yet. You don't know what roof you're getting. You don't know where the rooms are. And it's like so many people, they start their business, but they actually don't have true vision 1, 2, 5 years of what their goal is and what the business would actually look like if they actually hit all their goals. And that's like one of the biggest things that CEOs make major mistakes. And I've learned from mentors. I've learned from other people that have taught me that, and it's just really given me true perspective of, you have to invest all your profits and getting your, like, you want to get your, I tell my agents all the time, which obviously in sales, and you know this, I love the way that you do your editing, man.
Thank you.
You incentivize people to, hey, the better the work, the better work that you do, you are going to get rewarded for that. And when you incentivize people with your work, even W-2 employees, that's something that Dan Martell talks about too, is give good KPIs for your W-2s and give them bonuses when they hit those metrics. Right. And when you do that, and I tell my agents all the time who are 1099, I'm like, listen, you got to bleed to lead. If you want to break through that next ceiling, if you're making $100,000 a year and you want to get to $200,000 a year, you're going to have to dip in your income, hire some people to do things that you don't want to do anymore, because you want to focus on these high productive activities, these high income activities. And it's just something that I've learned, and because of that, I'm throwing all the profits back into it. Some of my agents make more money than me.
Wow, that's what I'm doing too with the pod.
Yep. No, that's how it's supposed to be, man.
Yeah.
Like you're supposed to lead by example. And again, if you have a short-term mindset, like if you really do, if you're like, hey, I want to have a successful business. I want to make $150,000 a year. I'm okay with having a simple life. Then there's nothing wrong with that. Like sometimes, some of the personal development gurus, they, kind of shame people for like, you can do more and you can do more. But like, if you're crazy, which like the fact that the amount of content that you put out,
I am crazy. Yeah,
you're crazy. Like, no, you are. There has to be a crazy person in you. Look at Elon Musk. You look at the most incredible, businessmen in the country that we can look at or even in the world, like the Jeff Bezos and, the Bill Gates. These guys they're pretty there's a crazy side to them that they would actually be willing to commit and do everything and sacrifice everything for some crazy goal. And if you want to make crazy money, you got to be crazy. You
got to be a little delusional if you're going to be an entrepreneur or CEO. You have to be.
Being an entrepreneur is like the most it's the hardest thing to do.
It's one of the hardest professions.
It is,
especially if you look at the stats.
90% of them fail.
Yeah, and then even out of the ones that do succeed, their salary is below $50K.
Correct. No, it's salary. Your salary is below is $50K. They end up going bankrupt. Then a lot of them end up. Think about how many businesses, like the restaurant industry.
Yeah.
I tell my agents all the time, like, you are able to get into a sales business. There's so many opportunity in the world where you can make so much money right now, and you can get into a sales business with a laptop or a phone and a piece of paper. And as long as you have those 3 things, you can literally make an unlimited amount of income and you want an unlimited amount of income as you may. And you think of like other businesses like restaurant industries where you got to take a $200,000-$300,000 loan, sometimes $1 million loan out. You have to hire 40, 50 staff. Your payroll is God knows how much, 40, 50 grand a month for your entire staff to hope to break even within a year or 2 years, if you're even lucky.
Right.
And then if you're not lucky, you're claiming bankruptcy. You're a couple $100 grand in the hole.
I've been close to that, bro.
Yeah, no, me too.
Times.
No, me too. Like but again, it takes those times of getting close to it and going through the fire of the reason why you are where you are today.
100%. Like, I've made it and lost it all twice.
Really?
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
First one I was, I think, like young 20s, and then the second one was 4 years ago.
Wow.
When I first moved to Vegas.
Not that I know you're interviewing me, but like, what do you think is the one thing that switched for you when it comes?
way too risky back then.
Okay.
I was putting all my money in crypto. I was putting all my money in the sports cards. I was leading by emotion, not logic.
That's wisdom.
You know, and that's
I'm
where
sorry, I got distracted because you said sports cards, and I'm a big sports.
Yeah,
I'm in the hobby.
I bought too many modern cards. I bought like John Moran and Zion and spent like 6 figures on those, and that market got saturated.
Zion.
I should have stuck with the OG cards.
Oh, yeah.
If I just stuck with that, I would have been up so much money.
Yeah.
I don't really chase trends anymore. I just want clothes that work, feel good, and last. I've stopped buying a lot of clothes and started buying better ones. Stuff that fits right, holds up, and I actually wear. That's why I've been going with Quince. They've got basics I actually use, organic cotton sweaters, clean polos, lightweight jackets, stuff that holds up to daily wear and still looks good. Quality's solid and everything's built to last. What makes Quince different is how they do it. They work directly with top factories, cut out the middleman, and you're not paying for brand markup, just quality clothing. And they only partner with factories that meet high standards for craftsmanship and ethical production. Refresh your wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/DSH for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/DSH. Now available in Canada too. Free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DSH.
100%.
Yeah, like Michael Jordan, like Kobe.
Jordan, Kobe. I mean, obviously LeBron, Curry. Yeah. I'm totally with you. And as well, you also have to know when to sell, when to flip them.
That was my issue too. I never sold anything.
Because if you would have sold Zion even 40% from his hype, you probably would have doubled.
I was up on most of them probably, but I just never sold.
Yeah, of course.
You know?
Yeah,
it's a fun industry though.
No, it's the most. It's my like legal way of gambling. It's like, hey, I'm not gambling anymore, even though I'm in Vegas right now. Right? Don't gamble. But it's like my one way. It's like, you know, I could open up a pack and
you do the breaks.
Oh yeah, I've done breaks. I wanted to actually get into breaks.
Dude, my buddy makes 8 figures a year off breaks.
Really?
Yeah, in LA.
Yeah, no, my selfish hobby that I want to do when my company is like fully skilled and running is, and I know it's not a profitable business to be in, at least I want to open up a card shop. Like,
yeah, you make money through the breaks.
Yeah,
you don't make money through the sales.
Correct, 100%.
Yeah, but it's man, you wouldn't believe some of these numbers these kids are making off breaks.
Yeah, no, I know. I spent too much money, dude. I learned what not was, and my wife is like, you're on. I mean, till 2-3 in the morning. I'm just like, I'm like, I gotta get it. The break. It's the Chicago Bulls. It'll be Michael Jordan. You get it for it's 40% discounted right now. And it's like they hook you in, and boom, you're 20 grand in.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. But dude, let's dive into politics a little bit because that's how we met, right?
Yeah.
Through our political friends. Shout out to Emily. I think you sponsor some of her stuff.
Yeah, Emily, Xavier. I've seen some of them on the show. We have like 6 or 7 different influencers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did you start diving into politics?
So, man, I dove into politics because of COVID.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of influencers kind of came out of COVID.
Same. Yeah, that's when I got into it.
Yeah, yeah.
I just had to speak up, dude. The censorship was crazy.
And it was the hardest time to speak up.
Yeah, you couldn't.
Like, you really couldn't. You felt like you got mouth tape over your mouth and you can't really speak and you know the truth. And it was the most beautiful and most frustrating 2 years of my life.
Yeah.
Because I worked in the music industry and my entire life, and I like politics and health insurance and marketing and business. This was something that I never thought I would. I mean, if you told me that, Jordan, in your 30s, you're going to be selling health insurance, I would have laughed in your face. Like, I was the guy that I've been playing music and keys since I was 15. I went to music school, then I went to an EDM school, DJ school in Los Angeles, moved to Hollywood, lived out there for 9 years. And you know, if you're working in the entertainment industry, it's very hard to make a 6-figure income. Like, you have to build relationships, work your ass off. I mean, you are doing gigs. I was traveling 25 days out of the month just to make ends meet, paying $3 grand a month for a crappy, 1-bedroom apartment in North Hollywood. And COVID happens, and immediately I watch my entire 6-figure income disappear in about 3 days.
Jeez.
And for the first time in my life, I was on unemployment. And that was like it was a big reckoning of like, man, I have no control of my finances right now. And then, from that, obviously you have a lot of people from COVID over those next 6 months, some people took it to vacation and then some people took it to study. And that's when I really took it. I started studying what was going on with our health and the government and politics. And it was the first, I wasn't really interested in politics. I mean, I was interested, but I wasn't not enough to actually speak out about it.
Yeah.
And then I'll never forget when LA brought that mandate for the vaccine, and I remember the news. I've seen the tweets like you can no longer go in a pizza restaurant, a coffee shop. You can no longer go into places indoors in LA County without proving that you have a Pfizer vaccine card. And one of my buddies comes over and he said, "Hey, let's go grab some lunch at Cheesecake in Beverly." I'm like, "I don't think I'm gonna get in, bro." He's like, I don't think so. And he goes, I got a fake card for you. And I'm like, no. I'm like, Christian, I am not in the United States of America going to fake in my way into a restaurant because I can't prove that the government has power over my bloodstream. Like, it's not happening. But if they kick me out, I'm walking out. I'm not doing it. And so we went to get lunch. Long story short, I get kicked out of the Cheesecake Factory. I record it. The video ends up going viral.
Wow.
But that was like the first step of like, holy crap, what is happening? And that was like my opening for real, where that is where I got my boldness and my faith to like truly speak out, because I was scared to death to speak out. Because if anyone knew that I was a Trump supporter, God forbid,
in LA,
in the music industry, and my innocent self back in 2016, not knowing anything, posted a picture of me wearing a MAGA hat. And again, I'm like completely oblivious to the politics of this.
Yeah.
And I really truly learned what cancel culture was. One of the artists that I won't say her name because you guys will know who she is. I used to play keys for her.
Yeah.
And her manager gave me a call right after she saw that picture and was like, "Hey, you can't play for us anymore."
Just from a MAGA hat?
Just from wearing a MAGA hat.
Holy crap.
Yeah, and that was about $30,000 a year from one of my 5 gigs that I had. But that's when I truly experienced cancel culture. So I had PTSD. I will never post again about politics. It's not worth it. I've given my entire life to this. But then COVID was that defining moment where it's like, no, this is bigger.
Yeah.
I'm willing to risk it all. And I started talking about what's going on in the country. I started studying the medical industry, what's going on with the vaccine. I mean, do you remember when the governor started pushing the vaccine and the New York governor Cuomo? He did a press conference, and I forget this, and he's doing a big push for the vaccine, and he has a Shake Shack burger and these Shake Shack French fries sitting in front of his mic, and he's like, "Guys, we've made a partnership with Shake Shack, and if you just for the next 3 days, if you guys go and get your vaccine." Like he's talking it like we're like 5 years old. Yeah. "If you guys go get your vaccine this week, you're going to get a free burger and a free shake from Shake Shack." And I'm watching this like I'm watching a movie. Like this is a production set. There's no way this is like real life. Yeah. And he goes, "Let's see how it tastes." I'm literally doing exactly what he did. He grabs a cheeseburger. He's like, vaccination. That this tastes so good, right? Let's see what the French fries taste like. Like we're watching a YouTube 5-year-old series. Yeah. Like adults were like, "Oh, I'm gonna go get my vaccine." But sadly, people did.
People did. Older people usually, but yeah, people did. And what blows my mind is some people still defend it to this day.
To this day.
I'm like, are you serious? There's been so many documented evidence now at this point.
I mean,
like I could get it like 2-3 years ago. A lot of us were on the fence, right? I mean, some people knew quick, but most people were like, "I don't know about it." Yeah,
no, I think if there are people that still believe that today, it really is like it's just a loud minority.
That's some programming at that point.
It's some serious program that I mean, which again, they program the shit out of us, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
I almost got it.
Yeah,
I was probably
did you?
A couple weeks away. Yeah,
really?
Yeah. Well, because to travel, dude, like for our lifestyle, to fly at the time you needed it, right?
Yep. No, yeah. That was a scary thing, especially internationally. And I remember there was a couple trips I wanted to go on and I couldn't.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy to think. Biden brought that in too. He's like, "You can't come into the United States unless you have the vaccination." Like, crazy. I forgot about that. That is wild.
A lot of countries did that.
That is literally insane. Yeah. And that whole 3-year journey was nuts, and that really launched my political journey, and then obviously led to America First Healthcare, which hence the name. You kind of know that my company is pretty damn conservative.
Yeah. And speaking of America First, that's like a big movement right now, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, I'll never forget. When I created this big following online in social media, and I'm like, what do I want to do? Mm-hmm. Like because I actually launched an Instagram live show, and that's really how I built my following. Mm-hmm. And so for every Monday through Friday, 5 nights a week for an entire year straight, I never missed one night, 9 p.m. And I would book 3 influencers, and we would have an hour. I would prepare an entire hour dialogue, and we would talk about the trending topics. And And from that, like obviously when you bring other people with bigger followings online, you know, their audience is seeing you, and that's how my audience grew.
Right.
Like 40,000 followers and just within, you know, 3 or 4 months.
If you're running vehicles or field teams, you already know how fast one small incident can turn into a big, expensive problem. If a driver got into an accident tomorrow, could you actually show what happened? Because without footage, you're usually stuck paying for it. That's why companies use Samsara. They bring AI dash cams, vehicle tracking, and asset visibility into one simple platform so you could see what's happening and make smarter decisions. Teams using Samsara are seeing major drops in crashes, fewer false claims, and safer driving overall. Large operators across transportation, construction, and logistics trust it, and some companies are saving millions each year just by using better data. Unlike basic dash cams, Samsara connects vehicles, assets, and job sites into one dashboard with real-time video that protects drivers when they're not at fault. If I ran a fleet or field operation, this is what I'd use. Don't wait for the next accident to take action. Head to samsara.com/DSH to request a free demo and see how Samsara brings visibility and safety to your operations. That's samsara.com/DSH. Samsara, operate smarter.
And then as this community kind of, you know, came around, like, what do I want to do and how do I want to, number one, serve the people that are following me without, you know, being a sellout. And then number two, what's something that I actually want to do? And I've always loved sales. But my story, I actually ended up getting COVID, and I was hospitalized, almost died.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's a whole crazy story.
Was that the first wave?
Second wave. It was the Delta.
First wave almost wiped me out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah, I was fucked. I got like pneummonia. I still have like a lung cyst right now from that.
Really?
Yeah, from all the antibiotics and everything.
Wow. Yeah, no, I held out. I actually got it at Turning Point.
Oh, yeah?
At SAS. It was
shit.
In July of 2021. I went to, because I was speaking at one of the breakouts, did that Turning Point event, came back home, and I got sick. I'm like, I'm going to ride this thing out. And the thing that pissed me off the most, bro, was I was trying to get ivermectin, and I could not get a doctor to prescribe me. I literally had one doctor say, I can't prescribe this to you because I will lose my license.
Jeez. So you knew the solution, but you couldn't get it.
I knew right away. I knew the solution. I called 3 doctors. They couldn't get it to me. So I had to call. I found a connect through one of the Freedom doctors, and she connected with a doctor in Chicago, and that doctor was willing to write me this prescription. By that point, it was like day 5, day 6.
Jeez.
And you have to take those doses of ivermectin in the first 3 days for it to actually take an effect. And that thing hit me so hard, I'll never forget. It was like day 5, and I was fighting this thing out, and I tried to go to the bathroom, and I fell down and collapsed to the floor.
Holy crap.
And I literally, because I could not breathe, literally couldn't breathe. And then my dad found me on the bathroom. I was like trying to scream for my dad, but every time I would talk, my lungs kept caving in.
Oh my God.
So my dad found me on the floor. He's like, I got to take you to the emergency room. He takes me in the emergency room. And I was there for 7 days. And the third night, dude, I thought I was going to die.
Jeez.
Like I was one notch away from going on to a ventilator. I don't mean to get spiritual, man, but like I had a crazy encounter with Jesus.
Really?
Night. Yeah.
So you were hallucinating?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I didn't see him visually. But no, I was so jacked up. They're either pumping me with med. Number one, they're pumping you with meds. Number two, you're like insanely over emotional.
Yeah.
Because like the question for the first time in my life is, am I going to die? Like that's a thought that, again, we know about that one day, but like
in your 20s is different.
Yeah. Like am I going to die tonight? And then on top of that, the psychological thing that goes on when like your family and your parents can't be in the room.
Yeah.
And so like they just honestly, the policy that they put in place and the guidelines was like made for people to die. And
yeah, the ventilator, I think if you got on that, you were toast.
I know. And I remember I was like, do not give me a ventilator. Do not give me the ventilator. And then the doctor comes in and is like, so you want to know why you got this, right? And I'm like, why? He's like, because you're not vaccinated. Like, no, like, hello, doctor. Thank you.
That's
for
the
making
first thing he said.
Yeah, first thing he said. And he goes, so we're gonna give you the medication that we gave Trump, and that's what made him better. Find out it's remdesivir.
Ooh.
And remdesivir actually gave me I don't know if it was my kidney or liver. I had damage from that, which is a whole nother story.
Yeah.
But yeah, then I will never forget the 5th night, man. There was the 5th night. I get a phone call from this lady I haven't talked to in like years, older lady too. And she goes, Jordan, I just saw your social media posts. Gather your faith because tonight the Lord is going to heal you. And, you know, I was raised in a very evangelical Christian home.
Yeah.
I've seen healings before. I've gone on missions trips, and I've seen like the power of God work in places that, you know, honestly does not work in the States. and I don't, whether it's a lack of faith, why, but I've seen incredible healings. I wasn't planning on talking this, but incredible healings happened. And that faith in me arose, and I played this song by an artist named Brandon Lake. And when I listened to that song, dude, I felt the most insane presence like enter the room, and I'm like bawling my eyes out, and I'm like, I'm going to be healed. And literally, bro, the next morning I wake up. There's no BS. Like, my friends that know me, they know that I'm a real one. Like, next morning, completely healed.
Holy
like
crap.
I could not. That night before, they had to bring me like a portable potty because I could not walk to the bathroom without not being able to breathe.
Jeez.
And so that night before, I was using a portable potty. I wake up the next morning, 6 or 7 hours later, my lungs are completely healed. I wake up, I'm like, literally, I can breathe. Oh my goodness. I pull out the tubes. I can breathe. I stand up. I walk to the bathroom. Everything is back to normal within literally, 6 or 7 hours of sleep. And that
is nuts.
And that was like my rededication to my faith in a whole new way, man.
I bet.
Yeah.
That would change anyone, I think.
Of course.
Holy crap. Because you were like possibly minutes, hours away from dying.
Yeah. No, literally. I did not know. And that question is something that you never want to go down that road. But anyways, from that experience, I learned about the medical industry. I got stuck with a $100,000 medical bill.
Jeez.
Did not know.
Did you have insurance?
I did have insurance, but it was an insurance that I did not like, and that actually did not want to cover it.
Any of it?
No, hardly any of it.
Holy crap.
And that was the reason why I actually got into health insurance.
Yeah. Well, I'd imagine on their end at the time, they were dealing with so many claims.
Well, there's a lot of bad health shares out there. There's something called health share, and I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty of it, but health share is another type of it's an alternative for health insurance.
Yeah.
And again, they wanted to claim whether they went bankrupt or they claimed pre-existing, they weren't getting back to claims, and I was going to get stuck with this bill. And I'll never forget, the hospital I stayed at was a nonprofit, and why? And actually, I'll talk about some hacks in health insurance later.
Yeah.
But because I went to a nonprofit and I was unemployed at the time, this nonprofit waived my entire $100,000 medical bill.
What?
Literally. And that caused me to I'm like, okay, how does this billing system work? Like this health share failed me when it comes to the private health insurance space. Like what is the difference of government and insurance, and how do they do these billings? How do they get a $110,000 bill for me being in there for 6 days? Mm-hmm. And that really kind of pushed me to learn about the private health insurance industry. And then hence that's literally how I launched America First Healthcare.
Interesting.
Launched it about 6 months later, had 500 appointments get booked, and literally my first launch after
Holy
2 days.
Crap. So there's a big need for this.
Oh, huge need. People want to work with people that they align with. I was literally 4 or 5 weeks ago, the CEO of United Healthcare shoots us an email and says, hey, not him, but his assistant. Yeah. Hey, we want to fly you guys out to see what you guys are doing. Because we use some of their products for our plans. Mm-hmm. And he shows me this. They first show us before we give them our pitch deck. They have us watch their pitch deck video. It's like a video, a promo of what they do. Mm-hmm. And in one of the clips, it's a black girl, and she's like, I love United Healthcare because I get to work with other people, and I want to work with doctors that look like me and talk like me, so that I feel more comfortable with my medical. And after they finished that video, it was like the perfect transition, because I'm like, that clip with that lady when she was saying that she wants to work with people that look like her, that talk like her. That is why our company is blowing up right now, because people want to work with people who align with their values. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, if I have to get health insurance to protect myself from bankruptcy or to go see a doctor, if I have to, and I have two options, one person that aligns with my values, which I probably trust more, I'm going to have more chemistry with, I'm going to choose that person, even if it's the same price, or maybe if it's even 5 or 10% more, because people will work with people that they can trust and they align with and have that relationship.
I agree. That's everything these days.
And that's really why it blew up.
Yeah, because when it's something like health insurance, that's a very emotional purchase. That could make or break your life,
Yep. Yeah, and I learned that from Public Square.
Public Square.
Michael Seifert, he's the company of Public Square. Public Square was actually a company that I would use in Los Angeles when to find a restaurant it basically became like the conservative Yelp.
Okay.
And you would go on Public Square during the COVID times to try to find like a restaurant that wouldn't discriminate you based off of your bloodstream. Yeah, that's literally how Public Square got launched. Now it's a whole marketplace, and Donald Trump Jr. is invested in it, and they just went public.
Oh,
and
sick.
It's completely blown up. But I reached out to the CEO of Michael. I'm like, hey, I need an email list. What would you charge me? I want to test something out. He's like, I'll charge you $2,000 and you can have our email list of 100,000 people.
Damn, that's a good deal.
Yeah, no, it was a great deal. But they were also brand new back in the day. They weren't, they were probably still looking for funding at the time. Now they would charge me $10,000 for that. Sent out, and I was like, what am I going to call this? What am I going to do? And I'm watching Trump speak it, and he's like, America first, America first. I'm like, America first healthcare. Okay, let's just try this out. And I didn't have the domain yet. I didn't have all the CRM set up yet. And I literally just, put kick the government out with America First Healthcare. And they sent out that email. It was like 550 appointments over 2 to 3 days.
Jeez.
And so then I freaking hired 4 or 5 agents there, and from there we scaled.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
That's so nuts.
Yeah, man.
So America first, do you think you could be America first while being pro-Israel?
Man, so I just came back from Israel.
Yeah.
Which, man, Israel is such a tough conversation right now because, my God, it feels like right now the amount of media on both sides that are going towards this topic of Israel, it kind of feels like the 2016 when Trump first ran for office. Like,
it's really divided.
It is number one, it's so divided, and it feels like vaccine type of polarization. Yeah. It's like, if you are not on our side, we will chop off your head, and it doesn't matter if we agree with 95% of everything else. And growing up, when it comes to Israel, I being raised as a Christian, you're raised from a young age to you support Israel. It says in the Bible. But again, I've always been someone that always questions their beliefs. And at the Turning Point event this past summer. When David Smith, I don't know if you were there.
I saw the debate, yeah.
Yeah, David Smith, he, debated, I forget, some other.
Josh Hammer?
Yeah, Josh Hammer. Yeah. And David Smith destroyed him. It was just not even close. And after listening to that conversation, because I was already starting to start leaning towards man, Israel is effed up. This is literally insane. And then you hear about the funding. It's yeah, why the hell are we sending $3 billion over to Israel to fund someone else's war? They got money. The Jews are rich. Why do we have to pay for their war? And they're real, valid questions. So then 1 week after I go to that trip, I get a text message from a buddy of mine, and he goes, yo, we actually had a cancellation. We got a spot. I don't know if you want to come, but we'll pay for your flight and we'll pay for your hotel to come out to Israel. And I said yes to it. And for me, the reason why I wanted to go to Israel is because I wanted to see where Jesus walked. That was, I personally, the Israel thing, whatever, I don't really care too much about the debate. I honestly also didn't really know what was going on at Gaza at the time. I knew that there was bombings, but I'm that's war. It's just part of war. It sucks. And I wanted to see see where Jesus walked and see the Old Testament come to life. But from that, they took us to so many different places, and there was about 4 days worth of history about the Bible and Jesus, and there's 2 days where they showed us obviously they're a lot more pro-Israel, and they're going to show us. We went to one of the army bases right on the Gaza Strip. We went to the October 7th sites. We learned a little bit more about the history of Israel from obviously the Israeli perspective. But the thing that really spoke to me was when we went to the embassy and I spoke with Mike Huckabee, and I talked to him for about an hour, and I asked him, I'm listen, number one, I just posted an Instagram story of me being at Shiloh, which is where, Samuel is living for his entire life until he goes and anoints David as king. I posted a picture of me praying at Shiloh, and I just literally had, number one, a couple hundred followers unfollow.
Damn.
Which was that was insane. Number one. Then number two, my DMs are filled. Effing traitor. You loving the craziest stuff. You should be dead. You should go into Gaza so they can blow you up there. The craziest stuff.
Jeez.
And all I did was post an Instagram story of me praying at Shiloh. And I'm man, we're now at the place now, and this is so divisive that if you just go to the country, which I mean, again, if that was the case for the last 30 years, I would not be able to live in America because we were the capital of war and we were the capital of corruption, and we funded wars all over the entire world, and we know about this. But then from what Mike Huckabee told me, he's like, I said, hey, Mike, I was like, a lot of us, we're losing jobs. We are taking a lot of heat for just being here. Everyone thinks that we're now Israel spies and we're getting paid off. Like, what is going on in Gaza? Like, why the heck do we send? And I asked him, why are we sending 3.8 or $3.2 billion for Israel for their war? And he gave me some 4 or 5 good points. Now, for the critics out there, you guys are like, oh, this guy is coming here giving Israel talking points. That's what they're thinking. But he came out and said, number one, you don't realize that, yes, with the $3 billion that we give towards Israel when it comes to their funding, that is going to, number one, it's coming back to the United States when it comes to, obviously, our military industrial complex. They're buying our missiles. But the thing that actually caught my attention more than anything was that they're actually the beta tester for the Iron Dome that we are actually about to create.
Oh, we're creating one in America?
Trump's been talking about it.
Oh, wow.
Mike Huckabee talked about it a little bit. He's like, what do you, think about this. They have an Iron Dome that's our technology. We actually co-founded it with them. And when the Iron Dome messes up, that data and that intelligence is coming straight back to us. And I actually know that the Iron Dome actually didn't work 30 days ago because they took us to one street where when Iran was sending all those missiles about a month ago, I can show you the videos. There's a whole strip of homes and a grocery store. Honestly, it looks like a strip of Gaza.
Jeez.
Honestly, it's completely obliterated. One of my friends, her apartment complex was 2 blocks down from it.
Holy crap!
All her 2 blocks down, her windows were completely shattered from just the
blast.
From the blast from that actual missile.
Yeah.
And that's from 2 blocks down. So I mean, again, he's like, number one, yes, we are beta testing their intelligence and what they're using for their defense system because we want to bring that here to protect Americans. Number two, again, the data that we get and the intelligence that we get when it comes to not having our own boots on the ground is one of the most valuable things. And he goes, think about it. In one of the most craziest places for war, we have bases in South Korea. We have bases I believe, in Qatar as well. We have bases all over the world, but we don't have to have a base in Israel. We don't have to have boots on the ground in the middle of an area where they do say death to America. And with that, Israel, I won't say it this way, but he said it in a nice way. Basically what he said was Israel does our dirty work for us. And we do get that money back. But I also think if you're going to question that, you also have to kind of question, people don't realize, there is a big double standard. We've given $60-70 billion over the last 20 years to Egypt.
I didn't know that.
Right. One border, but there's at the east side of Israel, the north side of Israel.
I thought it was in Africa.
No, Egypt is right. No, Egypt is on the border of Israel.
Oh, okay. And
then we also give $1.8 billion to Jordan, which is right on the border of Israel.
That's a lot.
And so, again, to me, it's if you're going to question about the funding for Israel, you also got to question the funding of the other countries.
Fair point.
And which is, and again, I think there are cases for both sides. If I'm taking the 100% all pro America first, and you're taking national security out of it, I'm saying, well, yeah, what could we do with that $3 billion in broken down communities and here in the States? 100%. But as well, again, we let our emotions take over, and when we see a bunch of propaganda, or we see what's going on in Gaza, which a lot of it obviously is real, and we allow our emotions from there, and we're just so short-sighted with actually what the bigger picture is, and everyone acts like they know what's going on with their foreign policy, and I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Yeah.
My entire opinion is coming from me being there once for 7 days. But if you want to know, you go.
It makes you wonder how much of what we see on social media is propaganda.
100%. Oh no, we saw that. Okay, so this is one of my biggest frustrations right now with the right. The right knows the propaganda that we went through when 2016 when we decided to vote for Trump. Talk about propaganda. the U.S. is the capital of the world for propaganda.
Yeah.
I mean, we lived through it. We went through it over the last 10 years. Just if you wanted to say that you were a Trump supporter, you know, right now it's like it's cool to be a Trump supporter. But back in 2016, dude, like you were scared to wear a MAGA hat. You were scared to let people know. I was embarrassed to let people know who I was voting for.
Yeah,
because
same.
every single day, all day, for years and years and years, all you're seeing is Trump is racist. Remember all the videos that you saw when you would see MAGA people in, you know, obviously racist I want to say hillbilly, but racist type of people, and they are, you know, you see the video of them beating up a black dude, and then like that is now the brand for the entire movement of America First. That look, all of MAGA is racist because this one dude. You know, you see a clip of a white guy with a MAGA hat beating up a black dude.
Yep.
Or the Charleston thing with Trump when they're like, you know, there's good people on both sides, and they took that clip, which was obviously false. Like, and that's what makes me most frustrated is like you have so many conservatives that are just like automatically falling in line for whatever the media is saying. It's like, number one, first of all, do you trust the media? Number two, where is the media coming from? Are we talking about CNN, BBC, MSNBC, let alone Qatar? Like Qatar is one of the leading propaganda media organizations in the world. And it's more than just a media organization. It's like a soft power tool is what they would call it because it's way more than just media.
And it's spread towards social media too. It's not just traditional media that's being taken over and programmed.
Well, it's not even just social media and media. It's also sports. And one person that, oh man, I spoke to so many locals because like my mission when I got to Israel, I was like, number one, I don't know who's, you know, and by the way, I paid about $2,000 to go there. They did pay part of my flight. They paid part of my hotel. But I did pay about $2,000 because I want to go on a different flight and they weren't going to pay for it. Mm-hmm. So like number two, I lost about 8 days worth of work, which is a lot of money for me if I'm going to take time off. And so number one, I want to see the days of Jesus. But then number two, like I wanted to talk to the locals because I don't care what anyone from the staff says. I don't care what the media says. I don't care what Tucker Carlson says or Candace Owens. Like, have you been there? Have you talked to the locals? And you know that if you really want to know and find out what's going on, you got to be boots on the ground and find out those conversations.
Go to the source.
And that's what I did. And I talked to had so many conversations with locals. And, you know, if I posted one, the critics would say, "Oh, that was a plant from one of the Israeli government." It's like, no, that was we went in the West. We went in the Western Bank. We went by Gaza. We went into Jerusalem, which is actually where there's Christians, Muslims, Armenians, Arabs, all of them, all living and working together in peace, which was the biggest mind twist for me being in Israel. It's like, man, there's 2 million Arabs that live in Israel, and they're actually majority of them are for Israel being in power. Why? Because it's the only country in the Middle East that's actually a free country and a democracy that is not underneath jihad. And the Arabs will say that. Now, I will say, I kind of compare the Arabs, if the best way I can in an American way, I compare the Arabs to like the BLM back in 2016, where it's like, they are not happy with the government. They don't have a lot of representation. There is a lot of discrimination, obviously. Yeah. Is there racism? Sure. But they are way more happier to live in Israel than to live in Syria, Libya, Jordan, Egypt, any of those places, because they get to run their own businesses and it's a democracy.
Yeah, they start off with good intentions with BLM at first, and then money got in the way.
100%. And like the other biggest double standard that I learned was, and bro, look this up, Egypt.
Yeah.
Back in 2020, think of Trump's wall, but on steroids. It's like 30 meters high. It's 2 times higher the size of Trump's wall, with barbed wire on both sides. And that entire wall goes all the way to the beach on Gaza's border. And Egypt will not allow anyone from Gaza to come over to Egypt. And actually the Palestinian told me this, one of the Palestinian locals. I was like, why, like, what is your biggest issue when it comes to the border? It's like, well, number one, my biggest issue is actually Egypt. Because yes, Israel should open up the borders and let people out. And yes, they should send in more humanitarian aid. Yes, they've screwed up in 10 different ways, and I can't stand Israel for that. But who's not getting enough flack is Egypt, because Egypt won't let anyone in.
Wow.
Syria doesn't want them. Egypt doesn't want them. And so then so then now the Gazans have to come to Israel because it's the actual only border that will actually bring in humanitarian aid. It's the only war. It's crazy. If you really think about this from a bird's eye view, it's the only war that the country that in the war that they're fighting, one country is actually sending in humanitarian aid and money and food and allowing money from Qatar to go through their own border to then strengthen Hamas. Because we all know that Hamas, I mean, and again, this is widely reported. Go look it up. Hamas is stealing majority of the aid that's coming in. They're then reselling it, taxing it 15 to 20%. They're stealing 90% of all the food that's coming in, and they're making hundreds of millions of dollars a month on specifically the aid that is coming. And what does that do? That strengthens Hamas, allows them to recruit more, allows them to pay more people to then become a Hamas soldier. Because the majority of these soldiers are kids, they're teenagers, they're also dads, that they're forced to be a part of this regime, because if not, they will get killed. And you can't, and yes, does Israel deserve criticism? 100%. But you can't criticize Israel and not criticize Hamas. And it's so hard for me to hear people say that free Palestine from Israel. It's like free Palestine from Hamas. Like that, it's a real saying, because Hamas is what has truly brought destruction even before October 7th and this entire bombing. Hamas took over the entire Palestinian government, threw them off roofs, killed them, and they took over. And I literally, when I got back, I started looking up influencers in Palestine or Gaza, and I found a ton of them. And I found this one guy that now lives in Germany who was actually arrested and beaten by Hamas because he led a protest back in 2019. He got arrested, he got beaten, he got tortured. They finally allowed him to escape like a year later, and now he lives in Germany. He's like, I'm getting the hell out of here. And after October 7th, he started speaking up. And yes, does he like Israel? No. Does he have beef with Israel? Yes. But he's like, you cannot hate Israel and not love Hamas, because it literally makes zero sense, because Hamas is actually the reason why that city of Gaza, which used to be beautiful, and it was actually growing, and there was restaurants, and it was starting to get very innovative, and the beaches were beautiful, and people would actually go there. Now it's been absolutely destroyed because Hamas took over and took it by force. And now, if you would protest against the government, you would be killed or you'd be brutally beaten.
Wow, that's nuts. I wonder what Qatar's angle is with funding Hamas. Like, have you looked into that?
I've looked into a little bit. So one person I got to meet, which was probably one of my favorite conversations, was with a Palestinian Arab that has lived in Israel for 40 years. Not 40 years, his entire life. So he's gone through the entire thing. And he was actually one of I interviewed 10 different locals that were Arabs, and 8 of them were like, it was pretty common. Like, we don't like Israel, we don't like the government, but we rather live in Israel than obviously outside, in another country.
Right.
There was one that I was like honestly nervous that he was going to kill us.
Holy crap.
He was definitely an extremist, 100%. And the only reason why I felt semi-safe was because we were around police. And that was actually close to the Western Wall in Jerusalem. But there was one person that we got to speak with for about 45 minutes. And he was actually a journalist, world-renowned journalist in the Middle East. And he actually has interviewed Hamas many times. Hamas used to bring him in. This is before October 7th. And he really broke down how Qatar really works and the purpose of Qatar, which was really interesting. So Qatar hates Israel, but Qatar does not want to do the dirty work. You can kind of say that, kind of how is U.S. having Israel doing the dirty work, essentially. And Qatar basically funds it with media and propaganda. And the purpose of their media is to, number one, yes, they can't stand Israel, but they do not want to get their hands dirty. Plus, they're also trying to befriend the United States. So the goal of Qatar is to basically look like we are the modern era of Islam, and we are the nice ones, and they want to have this prolific reputation. But Al Jazeera, which is like the name of their main media organization, there's no question, like, it is very pro-Hamas, it is very anti-Israel, and they use their funds, and they spend over $1 billion a year on media and propaganda.
Holy crap.
And one thing that he mentioned, he goes, you think that it's just social media. You think that it's just media. You think that it's just videos online and the video clips from Gaza, but it's way more than that. It's the education system. He said, do you not know that over $500 million last year, Al Jazeera spent on lobbying schools and universities in the United States.
Really?
Which is the reason why college campuses, why do you think out of nowhere, boom, the entire college, every college campus in the U.S. is screaming pro-Palestine. Like they don't even know where Palestine is on the map.
Yeah, that's true.
And now like they turn into these big pro-Palestine activists. Like what happened to BLM? What happened to all these other organizations in the pro-choice movement? Like everything has switched over to Palestine. We're hearing all these stories right now of people getting paid for protesting, and we're seeing the same people at 20 different type of protests, and because they're getting paid for it. And so, but the other thing he mentioned, he goes, think of the sports games. He goes, you ever see these European soccer games in stadiums of 100,000 people, and then out of nowhere you see this massive big flag that says "Free Palestine"? He goes, that's Qatar.
Wow.
There's in Europe, no one is going to a soccer game. He goes, that is a part of, you read their actual, like their plans. It's not just about media. It's social media, it's sports, it's universities, it's schools, it's education. It's way more than just media. And I'm like, man, Qatar is very powerful.
It's a lifestyle for them.
Which Israel hates, by the way. Israel, one thing that Israel's not happy with the U.S. and Trump specifically is our relationship with Qatar. Because Trump, has made some deals with them. But again, they're like, we know Trump's a businessman, but again, it's a big slap in the face to the Israelis.
That's good to know. Yeah, it makes you wonder who in our political commentary space is potentially working with Qatar, right?
I mean, we've heard stories and rumors, and again, I don't want to spread rumors because I have not really researched it. But again, like you do see pictures of Tucker Carlson and Qatar, like, and you have to question. It's like, and I agree with what Tucker says a lot. Like when Tucker spoke at SAS at the Student Action Summit at Turning Point, and he was like, "It does not make me an anti-Semite to criticize just because I criticize the Israeli government. Because if that's the case, then I'm anti-American for criticizing the American government since I've been born." And I agree with him on that 100%. Like, and are there things that you can criticize about the Israeli government? Yes. Like, should they have blocked the humanitarian aid? Yes. Are there reasons for it that are probably valid? Yes. Again, I'm not there. I don't know the issues. But when you start seeing like Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, and all of these humongous figures out of nowhere just like flip the script like in a major way, and then they're also visiting and they're going there, like you have to ask, are they being funded? I don't know. Like, do I think Tucker's being funded? No. I hope he's not being bought. That would honestly be depressing because he is one of my favorite commentators to listen to. But like, you do have to ask the question, like, what ended up happening and how there's such, I mean, if I was the left, I am so happy right now because I've literally divided the entire MAGA movement. And the biggest critics of me going to Israel was not the left, it was the right. And friends, like I literally saw a post that went by a pretty prolific influencer. And I just found out that there's a group of influencers going to Israel, and I just received the itinerary that they have. They're being bought and paid for and da-da-da-da. And over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be exposing these influencers, and we're going to be exposing who they are, and and that you cannot be America first, and that if they're not with us, they're against us. And I shot a DM to this person. I was like, bro, I've known you for 3 years. We have done podcast after podcast together. We've had incredible conversations. We fought through COVID. We fought through the vaccines. We fought through 2016 rocking MAGA hats when it wasn't cool. And we agree on 99% of everything. But there is this one issue that is literally completely dividing the entire Republican MAGA base. And it's over $3 billion. And to me, if you don't ask yourself questions of like, is there a bigger power that is using this catastrophe that is happening in Gaza, that is real, to divide the right and the strength of the Republican Party, then I question your ability to really think and have a true bird's eye view of what's going on politically in this country.
Yeah, a lot of infighting on the right now.
Oh, it's insane.
At this point, we're going to lose 28.
Yeah, no, I mean, like if Israel comes down to like the foundation of our vote and we become a one-party voter, like many on the left are, if we become that, we are going to lose in 2020.
Yeah,
there's no question.
There'll be no unison.
It's working, and I can say that confidently. And I'm not being an Israeli sympathizer. Like the reality is someone is pulling some strings to now within 6 months or a year, we are at each other's necks. We were not talking about Israel a year ago. We weren't talking about Israel for the last 8 years when Biden was in office and Trump was in office and now Trump back. Like now Trump gets in office and boom, it's like the light switch turned on. Hundreds of millions of dollars are going somewhere that is on. And again, what they're investing their money in is not necessarily fake. Like the truth is actually what it is, but they're using this chaos and they're using this destruction to really destroy the Republican Party.
Yeah, for sure.
That's sad.
Anything else you want to close off with on Israel, or you want to move on from that topic?
Man, no, I mean, outside of, if you're a Christian, you got to go to Israel.
I want to do some interviews
Yeah.
with Israel leadership or something, influencers out there,
Oh, no,
get their perspective.
I've met so many of them.
Are there like podcast creators out there
yeah,
and
a ton.
content creators?
Oh, there's a ton.
Yeah.
Of them. There's a ton of them. They'll give you. I mean, again, like I said, I spoke with Arabs, I spoke with Israelis, I spoke with Palestinians, and yeah, I mean, and the thing is, this is the biggest misconception: is that the people of Israel, they don't hate the people of Palestine, and at all. They're heartbroken of it. It's the same way, like you look at Americans, right, and you look at the U.S. and what view does the Middle East have of the U.S. and the people there? They probably think like death to America, and they think all of these things, that we are these horrible people that are sending bombs and we're celebrating and laughing at their demise. But that's actually not the case. That was one of the most shocking things I saw when I was in Israel, is that like the Israelis and the Arabics, number one, that live in Israel, they all get along. Like they're not best friends, but they get along. They respect each other. I mean, go to where the Temple Mount is. Like the Muslims actually control the Temple Mount, which is one of the holiest sites for Islam and one of the holiest sites for Christians, because that's where the Ark of the Covenant and the Tabernacle of David was. And Israel, in peace, said, hey, you guys can run this, even though, a lot of people still disagree. That's a very controversial topic. But the people in Israel, like they feel horrible for what's going on. But I mean, I learned a lot of crazy stuff also at the military base, and as well from some of these journalists, that what's going on in Gaza, that does show another side of what's happening and how Hamas uses propaganda and Qatar is using the propaganda for it to, hurt Israel and its view from the West.
Yeah. We'll end off with this one. You've traveled around the world. How many countries have you been to? Do you know?
Ooh, probably 30 plus.
Over 30?
Yeah.
So you've been to third world countries. Do you think America is becoming a third world country?
Yeah. People that say that America is a third world country haven't been to a third world country. Go to Rwanda. I mean, when I went to Rwanda, I mean, number one, like you can't find clean water. Like you can't drink water. I mean, at least here in the U.S., no matter where you live, I mean, at least in most places, I know there are some places during
Flint,
Obama.
Michigan.
Yeah, Flint, Michigan. Okay, you have your one-offs. But no, I mean, when you go to an actual third world country, I mean, you got to walk miles to get clean water.
Jeez.
You got to walk miles to you're starving. Like there literally is not food. On top of that, like people don't realize the racism that goes on, like real racism where you get murdered and tribes get killed just for your religion or your faith or not abiding.
South Africa, right?
South Africa. I mean, that to me, when I look at third world country, when we talk about how cities are becoming a third world country, you really kind of, it's kind of a slap in the face to the cities and the countries that are actually third world. I mean, when I was in Rwanda, I literally had to sleep with a net around my bed because there would be these poisonous mosquitoes that if they got you, they'd kill you.
Holy
at
crap.
night. And so I was like, I'm going to sleep paranoid. And these guys are just like, yeah, just don't forget, put the net. If not, you might die. I'm like, okay, that's great.
Jeez. Why were you out there?
I went out there. We did one of the artists that I played for. We did like a whole charity event, and we played for like 5,000-6,000 Rwandans, which was like so cool.
That's dope.
But it was scary, man. Like, I mean, you got no AC anywhere. Like you can't drink any of the water there, or you'll get super sick. Food is a luxury there, and then on top of that, like, I mean, people don't got cars. They're not driving around. I mean, you could actually say that Rwanda and places in Africa are more of a third world country than more than like Cuba, and Cuba's in bad shape.
Jeez.
I mean, Cuba's like two countries. It's like one side, it's like beautiful for all the tourists. It's like, I feel like it's like Hunger Games in Cuba. It's like the capital, you go on the tourist side, and then you literally cross the bridge and it's good night. You're getting you can't, you're limited on food. Your food is rationed and everything.
Yeah. If people say America is a third world country, there should be qualifications to making that statement.
Yeah, 100%. And yes, like Are there places that feel like a third world country, especially if you've never traveled? 100%. Like, I wouldn't walk in Baltimore. Like, I wouldn't walk certain parts of New York City.
Even LA.
Los Angeles, man. That's why I got out. One of my buddies, I talked to him like 3 months ago. I'm like, how is it bad? And he's actually a lefty. He goes, yeah, I'm honest with you, man. Like, it's getting pretty bad here. I'm like, how bad? He's like, I don't wear jewelry anymore because I'm scared of getting jumped.
Hell no.
I'm like, people are getting jumped in Beverly Hills now. Like, they're going out into the rich areas. Like, we're gonna.
Because there's no repercussions.
Yeah, there is. Why? Because we don't enforce the law.
Yeah.
I mean, we see what's going on right now with Trump in DC. Like, you bring in a boss that's actually going to enforce the law, and everyone disappears. It's like daddy's home, and when daddy's home, like, people are not going to disobey. They might not listen to mommy the same way, but
that's probably where they'll put the dome, I'd imagine, DC. Right?
I hope they would. I would hope so.
That'd be pretty nuts.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be pretty badass.
Yeah, that would be sick.
Yeah.
So when you landed in Israel, like, could you see it from the plane?
No, I don't know. Like, I don't even know what it looks like.
Huh.
No, I don't even know if it actually looks like a dome. I have no idea.
So is it? I wonder if it's like an invisible field or something.
It might be. I mean, they have to have. I mean, because there's the Iron Dome, there's David Sling, which is another technology that they've been making with the U.S. And that is like one of the true benefits when it comes to Israel and the U.S. Like, I mean, think about if I want to do a campaign like this open enrollment for America First Healthcare, I am beta testing right now all my ads to prepare for and optimizing my leads and my web pages and my funnels. Or if you're in sales, how are you going to know you have a really good sales script that's going to close at a highest percentage? You have to test and fail and test and fail.
Yeah.
Well, the U.S. is using Israel right now where they're getting all the data and Trump's been talking about, when he tweets something, like, he's pretty specific about it. He's like, I want to create an Iron Dome. And why? Because I got all the data. I have all the intelligence. Israel's sharing everything with us. And I will say, regardless whether you love or hate Israel, Israel is our closest ally when it comes to government. When it comes to being on talking terms and the Mossad and the CIA. And yes, you can hate the Mossad and you can also hate the CIA, but they are in talks and they share all of their intelligence, which is why I do think a lot of politicians and as well our government, it gives a lot of passes to Israel at times.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Jordan, it's been awesome, man. Where can people find you and find America First Healthcare? Yeah,
you can find me on my Instagram, Jordan Sarmo, JordanSarmo. And if you can check out our company, America First Healthcare, open enrollment's coming up on November 1st. So if you need health insurance, you don't know who to turn to, and you want to work with someone that you can trust, we have over 100 agents that will put you in a better position. We will not lie to you and take care of you. AmericaFirstHealthcare.com.
Check them out, guys. Peace.
Later.
I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps the show a lot with the algorithm. Thank you.